TSMC has exploded higher plus 6.94% to $462.12, a historic single-session move that demands your attention. In this video we break down what is driving this and what it means. Welcome to MTRS_Market Pulse. It is Sunday, June 21st, and this is your complete global market briefing. Investors are selectively buying in some sectors while reducing exposure in others. Let us start with a quick look at how the major global markets are positioned today. Starting with the major global indices. S&P 500 edged higher plus 1.08% to $7,500.58. Equity markets are responding to reports that are stock market today. S&P 500 jumps 1.1%, NASDAQ soars 1.5% as Wall Street shrugs off Fed jitters, NDTV profit. NASDAQ 100 climbed plus 2.48% to $30,406. Investor sentiment is being shaped by TSMC leads Nvidia in short week chip gains, tech stock squared. Dow Jones is little changed, hovering near $51,565. Investor sentiment is being shaped by our stock market today. S&P 500 jumps 1.1%, NASDAQ soars 1.5% as Wall Street shrugs off Fed jitters, NDTV profit. DAX is broadly flat at $24,986, awaiting a fresh catalyst. This comes as Brent rises after US-Iran peace talks in Geneva are abruptly postponed, adding pressure to energy markets. FTSE 100 is trading lower by minus 0.35%, at $10,363. Equity markets are responding to reports that are stock market today. S&P 500 jumps 1.1%, NASDAQ soars 1.5% as Wall Street shrugs off Fed jitters, NDTV profit. Now let us turn to some of the biggest names in global equities. TSMC surged plus 6.94% to $462.12 in a significant session. AI chip demand has created a demand floor that insulates TSMC from the consumer electronics cycle. High-NA EUV ramp at N2 and beyond represents a technology advantage no competitor can replicate for years. Watch the next earnings call for any commentary on 2026 capacity allocation. Infosys plunged minus 6.75% to 1,051.40 Indian rupees in a significant session. Operating margin trajectory toward the 19 to 21% target is back on track. The risk is North America financial services softness. Any new large deal announcement, particularly in European manufacturing, would be a meaningful catalyst given the diversification it signals. BHP plunged minus 5.60% to $61.40 in a significant session. Copper exposure is the long-term investment thesis. BHP's copper assets will benefit from the structural deficit expected this decade as the energy transition drives demand. Iron ore price and China steel output remain the dominant near-term earnings variables. Northrop Grumman made a dramatic move today, plunged minus 5.21% to $521.50. The B-21 Raider production ramp is the centerpiece, a multi-decade revenue stream with limited competition. Space and missile defense segment growth reflects the elevated threat environment. Any program update would be market-moving. Now let us dig into the macro picture driving these moves. On the geopolitical front, this comes as Brent rises after US-Iran peace talks in Geneva are abruptly postponed, adding pressure to energy markets. This is adding a risk premium across energy markets and supporting safe haven demand. Equity markets are responding to reports that are stock market today. S&P 500 jumps 1.1%, NASDAQ soars 1.5% as Wall Street shrugs off Fed jitters, NDTV profit. Rate expectations remain the single most powerful macro driver for equities and currencies right now. Investor sentiment is being shaped by our stock market today. S&P 500 jumps 1.1%, NASDAQ soars 1.5% as Wall Street shrugs off Fed jitters, NDTV profit. Turning to commodities. Brent crude edged higher to $80.59 per barrel, up 0.93% on the session. This comes as Brent rises after US-Iran peace talks in Geneva are abruptly postponed, adding pressure to energy markets. WTI crude held steady to $76.54 per barrel, down 0.08% on the session. This comes as Brent rises after US-Iran peace talks in Geneva are abruptly postponed, adding pressure to energy markets. Natural gas dipped to $3.20, down 1.08% on the session. This comes as Brent rises after US-Iran peace talks in Geneva are abruptly postponed, adding pressure to energy markets. Gold dipped to $4,172.90 per troy ounce, down 1.21% on the session. The gold move is partly driven by gold fails the safe haven test again, Fisher Investments. Let us give you our near-term view on TSMC. From a momentum perspective, the next key resistance for TSMC sits around $489.85. A sustained break above that level could attract further institutional buying. The main risk to the upside scenario is a shift in macro conditions or central bank tone. This is our analytical view, always do your own research. In the currency markets, Euro to US dollar is at 1.15, losing 0.33% on the day. Pound sterling to US dollar is at 1.32, gaining 0.27% on the day. US dollar to Japanese yen is at 161.28, losing 0.01% on the day. Currency markets are reacting to 90% silver half dollars, the 1964 secret most people miss. Most people don't realize that half dollars minted before 1965 contain 90% silver. At Money Metals, we sort thousands of Walking Liberty, Franklin, and Kennedy half dollars every year. If you're stacky, LinkedIn. Before we wrap up, here is your watch list for the sessions ahead. Keep a close eye on central bank speakers and rate commentary, and key economic data releases. Any one of these could be the catalyst that defines the next major directional move. We cover every major global market, every single day. If this kind of daily, actionable analysis is useful to you, please support us with a like and subscribe. It takes 2 seconds and it means a great deal to this channel. Share this with anyone who invests or trades, they will thank you for it. Thanks for watching MTRS_Market Pulse. Nothing here constitutes financial advice. Please conduct your own due diligence. Good luck in the markets, and we will see you in the next video. That is your full global market briefing from MTRS_Market Pulse. Subscribe and turn on notifications for daily updates.